SQL statement. Execute multiple queries in one statement. I've written a database generation script in SQL and want to execute it in my Adobe Air application. Create table T-role. Role ID integer primary key. Role name varchar 40. Create table T-file. File ID integer primary key. File name varchar 50. File description varchar 500. Thumbnail ID integer. File format ID integer. Category ID integer. Is favorite boolean. Date added date. Global access count integer. Last access time date. Download complete boolean. Is new boolean. Is spotlight boolean. Duration varchar 30. Create table T category. Category ID integer primary key. Category name varchar 50. Parent underscore category ID integer. I execute this in Adobe Air using the following methods. Public static function run SQL from file. File name. String. Void. var file. File equals file. Application directory. Resolve path. File name. var stream. File stream equals new file stream. Stream. Open. File. File mode. Read. var strSQL. String equals stream. Read UTF bytes. Stream. Bytes available. Non-query. strSQL. Closing curly bracket. Public static function non-query. strSQL. String. Void. var SQL connection. SQL connection equals new SQL connection. SQL connection. Open. File. Application storage directory. Resolve path. dbpath. var SQL statement. SQL statement equals new SQL statement. SQL statement. Text equals strSQL. SQL statement. SQL connection equals SQL connection. Try. SQL statement. Execute. Catch. Error. SQL error. Opening curly bracket. Alert. Show. Error. ToString. Closing curly bracket. Closing curly bracket. No errors are generated. However, only T-role exists. It seems that it only looks at the first query. Up to the semicolon. If I remove it, the query fails. Is there a way to call multiple queries in one statement? I wound up using this. It is a kind of a hack, but it actually works pretty well. The only thing is you have to be very careful with your semicolons. var strSQL. String equals stream. Read UTF bytes. Stream. Bytes available. var I. Number equals 0. var strSQL split. Array equals strSQL. Split. Quote. 4. I equals 0. I less than strSQL split. Length. I++. Opening curly bracket. Non-query. strSQL split. I. ToString. Closing curly bracket. The SQLite API has a function called something like SQLite_prepare, which takes one statement and prepares it for execution, essentially parsing the SQL and storing it in memory. This means that the SQL only has to be sent once to the database engine even though the statement is executed many times. Anyway, a statement is a single SQL query. That's just the rule. The Air SQL API doesn't allow sending raw SQL to SQLite. Only single statements. And the reason is, likely, that Air uses the SQLite_prepare function when it talks to SQLite. What about making your delimiter something a little more complex like n, which would not show up all that often? You just have to ensure when creating the file you have a line return or two in there. I end up putting 2 n into the creation of my files, which works well.